Hey everybody, Curse is here with more Caravan War. Now today we are going to talk about two more units. Those units being Guardians. We'll discuss, bandits in a whole nother series. But it's going to be the Wisp and the Jet Trooper. So being that most caravans, the biggest weakness you're going to have is going to be against enemy air units. Most commonly used would be the... Oh, not Guardians. I chose the wrong one. The most common being, of course, the Condor. The Condor is most commonly used. It's like, if you get like 7 or 8 of them together, they burst really hard and can take down most caravans in 1 or 2 volleys. Not the whole caravan, I mean the wagons. But they can take down wagons in 1 or 2 volleys, and that's pretty good. So, when you're defending against air units, you only have a few options. The first option being, of course, is the add-ons for your caravans. The best add-on being, obviously, is the machine gun. Machine gun, which fires 2 shots a second, and just overall does extra damage when hitting airborne units. I don't have any of these, unfortunately. Sadly enough to say. I really would like some. And I like how the ammo is inter-fed like that. It's kind of weird looking. Anyway. So you only have a few options which target air units from your units. One is the Seraph, the Cannoneer, the Marshal, which is a big one, the Griffin Rider, the Jet Trooper, and the Wisp. Unfortunately, most commonly mistaken is the Scout does not target air units. Now, when discussing the Wisp and the Jet Trooper, we're just going to look at stats first of all. So, first of all, the biggest thing we're going to discuss is, what space they take up. Wisps take up a vertical space of 1x1 in the caravan. So, 2 slots going down, they take that up, like just like a champion or a artificer or shield master. Now the Jet Troopers take up a horizontal 1x1, which no other unit really does this other than the Cannoneer and the Spartans, but they take up multiple horizontal slots. So, as far as it goes, they both take up roughly the same space, just on a different angle. But what we're going to discuss here mostly is going to be stats. Now, the Wisp, this is the Wisp level 9 with 2 enhancements. It has 2,600, almost 2,700 HP, 454 attack, which seems pretty good. Attacks at a 0.4 attack speed, which is roughly 1 attack every... Which is slow, right? I mean, the higher the number, the faster. So I would assume it's 1 attack within almost every 2 seconds, almost. So it's pretty slow. At least I think that the lower the number, the slower. Anyways. So it's 1 attack every 0.4 seconds. 0.4 of a second. So 1 second goes, then 0.4 of a second goes, it attacks. Anyways. At least I think that's how it would work. And it only has a 2 range, which comparable ranges for that is nothing else. It only has a 2 attack range. Oh, sorry. The Seraph has a 2 attack range. And so does the Spartans. I thought no other unit had a weird 2 attack range. But okay, so the Spartan and the Seraph are the other units with comparable attack ranges. Now, when we look, and of course they all move at 1.2, which everything moves at 1.2 except for the Griffin Rider. Now, Jet Troopers, this is a Jet Trooper at level 9 with 1 enhancement, has 3,180 HP, 562 attack, attacks at a 0.5, which is slightly faster than the Wisp, has a 4 attack range, 1.2 move speed, is airborne, of course, and the biggest thing, though, is the ability of the Jet Trooper. And the ability of the Jet Trooper is what really trumps over the Wisp here. And that's when he dies, he stuns all nearby enemies, I would assume within his attack radius, for 1 second. Which is pretty huge. Meaning that, you know, things like rogues and infernals can't get another attack off. They're stunned for a whole second. So that's really good. The Wisp, however, does not have another ability, which really makes it underpowered compared to the Jet Trooper. I mean, yes, the Wisp is common, the Jet Trooper is rare. You know, can you compare them? I say yes. Because like I said before, like with the Champion and the Guard, you know, they have very, very comparable stats. Even the Champion at 1 enhancement versus a Guard with 2 enhancements at the same level, 2 Guards equals over 1 Champion in HP and armor. So, like I said, you know, it's just, I think they're very comparable, and the Jet Trooper is just better overall. I think that the Wisp requires a little bit of a buff, like maybe increase its attack range to 3. Maybe give it an ability. Like when it dies, it heals everything around it. For a certain amount of HP, that would be nice. I mean, it is a Wisp. So, I mean, would be interesting, right? Now, the thing about using air units in caravans, though, and this is what we're discussing here now, is just both air units, is that you can't spam them. If you spam them, your enemy will just use a rocket tower, multiple rocket towers, and destroy the majority of your caravan, leaving the carts open to attack. So you really can only sprinkle in a couple of air units per vanguard. Otherwise, like I said, then rocket towers happen. So, sorry. You know, the only exception being the Griffin Rider, because the Griffin Rider can dodge attacks. And it's tankier than the Jet Troopers and everything else. So, pretty good. So, like I said, you should always try to sprinkle these guys in the caravans, the vanguards, when you can. But if you use too many, like I said, you shouldn't do more than 2 or 3 per caravan, because then your opponent will just use rocket towers, kill them all, and things won't be happy. So, since you only have legitimate room for only 1 or 2 air units, maybe 3 at the most, per vanguard, really the Jet Trooper takes the cake here, because he stuns units when he dies, he does more damage, and he attacks faster, and he has more health. So overall, you know, developer, if you're watching, the Wisp needs to be buffed for it to be useful. So anyways, though, let me know what you think. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that notification bell, ring that bell, just give that little bell a little smooch, so you know when I when I jump online and post videos. And make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share, do all that good stuff. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video. Later.